And this is the evidence that the machine has turned against you business-wise.
What's the evidence?
Hot 97 covered it. Hot 97, New York's, one of New York's place for hip hop. They covered it. Double XL Magazine covered it. Shade Room covered it.
And then we got
Complex and World Star Hip Hop. Mm-hmm. So you have the machine. Now the machine that's geared towards the music industry, all reporting negatively on Fresh and Fit.
I kind of already addressed it on Instagram, but it was eating me up inside. I'm aware that people will say right message, wrong messenger, not him, and then that followed by everything from my. So when I saw the 4 clips that disturbed me, I didn't say anything. I saw women outraged.
Right.
I didn't see enough men outraged. How she handled that situation with so much class and poise, while this who I don't know to be black, he don't look black, he don't sound black. And when one of them asked him, hey, are you black? He said, my mom is from whatever he said, told me he didn't identify as black.
True.
But yet, you talking black culture, you got black people coming to your house, and I don't give a if it's your house. I don't care where you taping at. And this is what you're doing. No, that's not all right.
I think it's even more reason to get Merry Christmas because you saying you don't identify as black. So if you don't identify as black, shut your fucking mouth.
Mm-hmm. He said that sitting across from his black co-host,
his homeboy,
birthed by a black woman. Mm-hmm. We already know that black women are the most degraded, disrespect. We know that already. But when did it get to y'all two could do it? No one can do it. You shouldn't do that. But you two especially.
That's funny.
Y'all two should be the last 2 to get on the mic. Y'all should have edited that, erased that. Y'all should have did something.
Now look, the people who love Fresh and Fit, they're never going to leave. But Fresh and Fit news. Here's a news flash for all the stands. They don't care about you. They want new fans. In order to get to that 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, in order for them to be on the next level. So the next level for them would be decided with Joe Budden podcast, about 900,000. And that's why they've reached out to Academic. That's why they have Kodak Black there. That's why they're going after that hip hop crowd. And then we already know what's going to happen because they're going to drag their nuts through the hip hop community and then they're going to go to the next community because their ultimate goal is to be pure mainstream, to have a show and to have a podcast of 11 million viewers, just like someone like a Joe Rogan.
So, in your words, you said they want to be a Red Pill Joe Rogan mainstream podcast.
That's
why they set it up, the interviews the way it is.
Yes.
Bringing on mainstream hip hop guests, affiliating with DJ Academics.
Because right now their guests are, it's not like they're getting Kanye West to interview like Joe Rogan did, right? But they're getting Kodak Black. It's not like they're gonna get Kid Cudi like Joe Rogan did. They're not going to get that. But eventually, they feel like if they start here for interviewing smaller folks, they can build their way up. And I mean, that's their friendship with DJ Academics. That's their way in, right? It's not like Charlamagne the God's going to want to talk to them because Charlamagne, he's married and he's going to call them fools. He's going to call them young clowns. I mean, just going to say he's going to call them young clowns. Joe Budden, you're not going to yell at Joe Budden or talk over Joe Budden. He'll just yell at you and walk out. He doesn't give a fuck, right? I mean, hell, Joe Budden fired his friends on the air. He's not going to care about Fresh and Fit, And Joe Budden's already on a higher level, and he's already dealt with a content creator because Kevin Samuels did a collaboration with the Joe Budden.
Which was an excellent episode. Actually, I really enjoyed that episode very much.
So you have to understand that they're trying to follow that footstep business-wise, and
no matter what you think about what he's saying, he's attempting to have a factual conversation.
Yeah, one.
And be fact-based.
Just bad delivery.
And, horrible delivery.
Horrible delivery.
And he ain't trying to demean.
I think that Kevin Samuels is trying to inform and be informative to show people how we can bring together a black community.
I have to say that this is the stupidest business move I've seen people make. Because there's no way that any other record label is gonna let their rappers go on there. They're just not. That's why.
So what kind of proof do you think with Asian Doll that she is backed by big major music studios? I want you to go a little bit flesh it out because the average viewer doesn't understand the business side of music.
So all right.
So who it's affiliated with. There's basic levels to this.
Yeah. So like, all right. No matter who you're signed to, right? If you have a national distribution, there's only like 3 or 4 music labels in the world. All right. There's Sony. There's Universal. There's Warner Brothers. and actually I was gonna say Epic, but Epic's a part of Warner Brothers, right? So there's 3 that I can bring off my.
Which happens to be movie studios too, right?
Right. They're all movie studios.
All right.
They all do movies. They all do entertainment. Mm-hmm. It's all an entertainment group. When streaming came to vogue, all of these record labels merged with their movie studios, and they all created entertainment groups. And they're all in the streaming field now. They all have HBO Max. That's Warner Brothers, right? Disney is on there. Paramount Studios. That's CBS. That's I almost want to say Universal, right? They're all connected somewhere. So they're all connected in every aspect of entertainment that you have.
So TV, video on demand,
TV,
streaming, cable, all that stuff.
Right. I mean, really, the only places that you can go outside of the studio system right now is Netflix or Amazon. Mm-hmm. Those are the only places that you can really go, or Tyler Perry Studios.
But they even have apps too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're
maybe
even
not Netflix, but
so my evidence that the machine has turned against, or at least are commenting on it, is that the next day after this happens,
less than the next, like 20 hours or something.
Everybody
11 hours.
have picked up the story who doesn't give a damn about Fresh and Fit. I mean,
if y'all want to become popular from this, I'm going to help you. There are real life ramifications for your actions in and out of real life.
100.
So I'm with you. Hey, troll away. You're looking for a response. Cool. But you're going to get something in your world.
But there's something that comes with that you might not be prepared
that you
for.
wasn't planning for.
None of that.
Smack the shit out of them.
Said what? I don't want them to get no pub.
Oh, bleep it.
Yeah, bleep the name for sure.
I mean, I want you to understand. It's like if Asian Doll, it was sitting in if Asian Doll was sitting right here arguing with us, right? Nobody cares. But if she argued with us and we made it up, nobody cares. But if she walks out and then it's disrespectful, now they're going to go back and they're going to look at all the disrespect that they have there.
And then you know what happens? The culture just flips on it entirely, and YouTube flips on it. And when YouTube flips on it, which I'm telling you, I've just seen it happen. Content I covered, I kind of had to pivot because I've seen YouTube flip on certain content as well. Once you get mainstream attention for doing some niche, that's when the shadow bans come. The reports start. Like they f***ing pigeonhole you and make your platform smaller. If all them black chicks now go to their podcast and start reporting that bitch, you're not getting promoted by YouTube no more. It's dub. It's a dub. But now you're gonna also feel the backlash in the fact that you're on a platform that really they don't want no smoke with black women either.
I've said this before. The last thing that the Manosphere space needs is eyes on us while we're growing, blossoming, and finding our true way and our true content. Because if we want this message to get out of self-improvement, and this is honest, if we want this message to get out, there's no way it's going to happen, or we'll have our growth stunted by stupid actions up front. It's kind of like being a football team, and you have a star quarterback, and they're great, right? And then you have an offensive line, and your star quarterback, he just refuses to throw to your number one wide receiver. He just wants to run it all the damn time, and he gets hurt. And now his leg is broke, and the backup's a duck. That's what it is right now, and that's what can happen to us. We can't let any...
Hold. Let me just annoy the viewers and you for a second.
Okay.
All right, I'm coming from the white pills perspective, all right? I'm a woman's advocate. Why are you looking at me like that? Someone's going to speak for the women on this show?
Oh, wow. We like to apologize to our viewers that... look at this mother.
We got to appease the industry-backed studios, all right?
No,
all right? Well, I ain't trying to have a mess with us.
That's not going to do
growing.
it. That's not going to do it either. You know, what's going to do it is one thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about this because I think I've talked too long. Your talent and your education is your floor. Your work ethic, your attitude, and your manners is your ceiling. I sat at a table with rich people, and one of the richest men I ever knew personally that I worked with was a CEO of a startup I worked for, right? And I was building his distribution network, and we had a great relationship. And we sat at the table with investors all the time. We had a round table, and we called it a 360-degree manager meeting. And we held each other accountable. Everybody had to hold each other accountable because all of our projects interlock with each other. We were not allowed to yell at each other. We weren't allowed to accuse each other of anything. We could only present information, and we had to have decorum and manners. The thing is that when people call themselves high value, they don't understand that you can be assertive, but you have to have manners. You have to have decorum.
I just find it funny that all these like alpha male, high value men, whatever it is, right? Okay, have zero ability to compose themselves, right? They want to lead men, but they can't manage their own emotions well. That all these guys who are like the alpha and all that stuff, a lot of them are just frauds. Period. Well, you know, there's a lot of projection. There's a lot of ideas of what you want to be. And someone said something funny. He's like, man, listen, I follow what they say, not what they do.
And I know that it's just this red meat making you feel great. All these folks who can't talk to women. You've never had success with a woman in your life, or you've had success with a woman, but you turned around and broke your heart, so you're in this red pill rage. So it feels really good when you see Myron talk to any woman like that. But the reality is that you're supposed to graduate from that train of thought, go through that phase, and become a better person. And understand the nature of people and apply that to getting a relationship. That's what it's really about. And, you know, and all of the people you idolize are in long-term relationships, you know, and so it's just it's this weird dichotomy of thought when you think that by treating someone bad and holding them accountable in a way, holding someone accountable, like, do you think that Asian Doll felt like Myron was holding her accountable when she decided to leave?
No.
She deprived them of her presence, and it was bad for their show. She held them accountable for their actions. So,
indirectly, yeah.
So
just
what
by
happened
making a power move
was that the high value men were out alphaed by a female.
I thought you said females can't be alphas.
Well, apparently
they can.
Apparently they're not alphas.
Oh, is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I mean, to go with the whole red pill train of thought, to me, the understanding once what the red pilledness is to not to allow yourself to be stuck in those old ways of thinking, and allow yourself to be controlled emotionally and mentally by a woman, but knowing that your own value, while at the same time respecting her value, and knowing that there's differences in between your motivations, your goals, into what you want and to versus to what she wants. Because ultimately our goal is to develop out our passions and pursue our purpose. The thing I'm always preaching about. Because your gifts, your calling is the thing that's going to make you happy in life, not a woman. Because you need to understand what makes her happy is probably not the things that's going to make you happy. So you got to do what's best in your own best interest. Like Patrice O'Neal says, you got to make yourself happy first.
Whose happiness is more important? That's the game you play. Now, if you don't want to play your game, you don't play. My happiness is the game.
And foremost. Anyway, so going back to this is that coming from also the content creator, producer side of things, what the hell was Myron thinking? Like, all right, he takes all these notes down and he's going after these girls, picking apart their statements or whatever. Being fully prepared, has them all drinking, but he's not. He's drinking energy drinks, right?
Yeah, he doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink.
Doesn't smoke.
And it's a fallacy saying that law enforcement officers don't drink or have partaken in other things.
Law enforcement officers drink.
There's been known history of the, you know, with the bad mental, just from the harmful effects of the job. There's causes that officers use or substance officers use to get away from issues, and that's a whole nother subject we're not going to get into. But Myron here is taking all these notes down, all these girls. But why didn't he take notes and do his research on who Asian Doll is and what backing she has and the people that she's associating with?
I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, I'm asking you that.
Because
I don't care.
Ultimately, even though she's coming on his platform, he believes because it's his platform, he's going to control it, and he can't be wrong on his platform. You know, while he's there, he can't be wrong. Now, look, if there's a bunch of heat, they start shrinking. They get threatened. I mean, you have to understand how the music business works. Like the head of YouTube Music, who's probably the number 3 powerful person on YouTube, is Lear Cohen, who was the head of Def Jam Music Group, who was connected to Universal, who's also connected indirectly to Warner Brothers because they all do dealings with each other. If someone calls him and says, "Who are these clowns talking like this?" and he walks in the office, then all of a sudden Fresh and Fit could have a strike against him. They could be told, if you keep this up, you're going to shrink, or we're going to go. They could be shadow banned just by one phone call, because that's how you guys don't understand. That's how the music business works. The music business works that you don't piss people off. You don't make people upset.
And so what we're trying to establish, or what we are doing and establishing, is that Asian Doll is that connected with. Possibly she could be connected with.
Well, you don't even have to say possibly
labels.
connected. People have decided to spend money on her. Once you spend money on her, the only thing you care about is recouping your money and getting back because it's a business. I mean, and just to tell you that a business in Silicon Valley works like that too, where like people like can make a phone call and you just don't have a job anymore. So you always have decorum. You always treat people a certain way.
Well, to me, like, all right, if I'm also knowing that this girl, if you know anything about the King Von and how he passed away and who he was affiliated with, I would be a little on my toes, on my P's and Q's, knowing who I'm dealing with, because I know she's backed by industry and also she's backed in other ways, and I best be on my best behavior too, while I'm hosting someone of her caliber and her connections.
You know, it goes back to just understanding that, you know, if you have a habit of treating people like garbage, it's going to be hard. You just don't switch it on and treat people nice.
Once again, coming from the producer side, if I'm working behind the board and I'm Chris Pogson, because I believe that's the man that's doing it, or one of the audio engineers, is a simple solution is to turn down the girl's volume when they're having side conversations. That's like the simplest thing to do, because when you do that, then when they're wearing their earphones, then Myron's not going to be hearing the other girls because the volume's going to be turned down. He's only going to be hearing his own voice in his ear.
You know, the funny thing is this. It seems like a lot of their problems could be just eased with a manager and somebody who really understands like business and understands what to do, right? For instance, like I think just somebody who puts things together, who orchestrates things, like project management just manages general managing, right? I looked at it and I said, wouldn't it be cool that they had the girls there and she was late and they talked to the girls? And then they just cleared the girls out and had them sit down and talk to her, interviewed her, and when she left, had the girls come back. like it's just simple,
Straight
right?
up, there's way too many girls. They showed the quick. I watched another video. They showed a quick what was happening behind the scenes of what was on camera. There's girls all over in that apartment.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous. How the hell do you manage all those people with a featured guest with her star power?
And it's just like what you do is she comes in and you say, hey, ladies, you know what? We're going to, she'll meet you all if she wants to. What we're going to do is we're going to take you all ladies down. Y'all are going to eat right quick and we're going to do this. Well, we want to stay. It's not a choice. You guys got your time to shine. We're going to eat, then you can come back and we can finish it up at night. But this is going to be a special podcast. This is the only time that she's here. It would have been much better doing that. Or maybe a couple of her homegirls with her, you know, because I'm sure she had her friend and her manager or somebody there to have her feel comfortable. You could have talked to her with it wouldn't have been that problem. Then it wouldn't have been no side conversation or nothing. You see, solutions are simple when adults think and plan things out. My biggest problem with Fresh and Fit, their whole business model has been kind of like fly by night. We're making it up as we go along. We have a ton of money, but we're not spending money on things that can make our business grow. Like, look,
They buy all the flash, all the bling, but
you spend $90,000 on the studio, right? I'm sure you've paid that back. You spend money for this and that. You buy a bunch of stuff. Why don't you spend $100,000 and have somebody just in charge of all that? Here's your salary. This is how much you get paid. I want you in charge of all of this stuff. All of this stuff. Look. I mean, you're probably making $50,000 to $100,000 a month. Just take a month's salary and have someone just handle that. I guarantee you, you'll grow more. You'll get more done in less time. It'll be more productive and
you'll build better connections in the industry that you want to head towards.
Exactly.
And I just touched your leg right there. That was the weirdest little thing.
I
never want to do that again.
Please edit it out, dude, before they start rumors about us. Edit it out.
Why you guys say that? No,
because
now they're gonna get ideas,
Jesus
man.
Christ. Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
But and something else I would do too. I think it's time to move it out of his apartment.
Yeah, they should have done that so long ago. I don't know why they would have it in their apartment where, you have apartment security, but the thing is, what if the building's manager is not going to like you, the homeowners association or whatever the association is, with all this disturbances that's happening in the apartment? And then what if someone actually does something with a weapon that You say that people have pulled weapons out.
Well, we know weapons
just,
have been pulled. Like you pulled a weapon, so and he didn't pull a 9mm. He pulled it looked like a 45 or 40 caliber. I'd say 45 because you can't really tell the difference between a 9 and 45. You shoot that, it goes to the wall and kill somebody.
I'm just surprised the neighbors haven't said anything. Maybe they have said something. I don't know, but you would think of all that money, they would be finding an actual official studio where they have better lighting, a better space. Because the studio is nice, but it can be much nicer at this point.
It could be bigger.
And bigger.
And especially if you want to have that, it could be bigger. And, you know, if you want to have that many people there, I mean, that's another thing too. It could be bigger. You got people.
You can have a studio space, an audience space people can watch.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's so much that you could do with your resources, but once again, it would take planning and adult thinking, and not just milking this for all the money you can. But it would take, a future mindset.
So, I mean, that about wraps it up, because the last question is, does Fresh and Fit understand their platform as a brand business? I think they understand the brand, but they don't understand the actual
definitely
business side of things.
100% right. Here's the bottom line. Fresh and Fit has spent, since I would say August, making an ass of themselves on multiple occasions.
Hey, help put us on.
At one point, these folks, these gentlemen, they're going to have to stop. And they're going to have to stop thinking it's all about the money. Stop leading with this personification and just really become solid businessmen. Now, look, everybody's going to say, they're better businessmen than you are. That's not what you guys have no idea what I've built or what I've done, but who cares? But they're better businessmen. But listen, the proof is in the fudge.
I thought it was the pudding.
Nah, the proof is in the fudge. Okay. It's a bait thing. And so if you're sitting here and you're saying to yourself, as a fan of them, that they're great businessmen, then ask yourself this: what other business has these incidences? Zero. And also one last thing I say, and I just want to bring this all the way full circle about culturally. Cash Doll is connected to Gucci Mane. She's on his Gucci Mane. Asian Doll. I called her Cash Doll. I'm tired. Asian Doll is connected to Gucci Mane. She's on this label, right? Gucci Mane is a throwback to like 90s rappers.
Oh, he's still in the industry.
He's in the industry, but he's a throwback to 90s rappers. Okay. Meaning that you want to treat him and his crew and the people around her and those people in Dallas a certain way.
Respect.
You want to lead with respect. Leading with respect will never go to lead you wrong, because sooner or later you're going to get yourself in a situation where you can't get out of. And just because you have a gun, a weapon in your apartment doesn't mean, because people have weapons and they'll shoot up the whole apartment.
And they can touch you outside when you least expect it.
And so my suggestion, being around a certain amount of violence when I was younger and understanding how things happen and being very blessed to escape unscathed, is just stop. Start leading with respect and treat your business like a business.
But will they get as many viewers and conversions of subscribers?
More viewers, because more people will come on their platform and help them. If you have DJ Academics wanting you to succeed, treat it like a business. Take his advice. Go a little more mainstream. Stop doing the ignorance, the and the tomfoolery, and you'll be fine. That's all I got to say about it.
All right. Well, so what is the question of the day? What would you ask the audience?
I would ask the audience this: how often and how many more times are these fools going to mess up?
So my editing is, how many more chances is Fresh and Fit going to get?
That's why he edits. That's why he edits. I just talk. No, absolutely.
Throw some numbers down there. Say 1 time, 2, 3. I don't know.
Like and subscribe. Share this. Hit the notifications, and you can follow me at I am Gorilla1 on the gram. You can follow this man at
Scott.Tieee. Follow us on all our social media networks at the Tip Network.
Yes.
In one combined THPP network. Yeah. Even our YouTube channel is now Tip Network.
Ask yourself one burning question:
can you handle the tip?
Boom! Booty in your face. We out.
Yeah. Peace.